James Carpenter with Country Living. Welcome to my channel and thank you for watching my videos. Good morning everyone. I want to thank you for watching my videos. Today we're going to do a video on rocks. So this is a video geared towards people who enjoy rocks, such as myself. We're going to go around the Country Living farm here and photograph some of the rocks that we have and have gathered and basically collected over the years. So we're going to start out with some rocks that are concreted together. They're flagstone rocks out of the local quarry. So what you see here is it's a fire pit, just something you would use when you have cookouts and people would stand around and warm their hands up. We took a rim off of a old tractor and cut it in half, and that makes up the pit itself. And what you see there is a little grate so that air can come up through. And over here I put in a clean out, so you can take a shovel and shovel the ash that falls through out, because it does accumulate and build up. Underneath these pine trees I have a couple rocks. We got one here, we got one kind of tucked in back there, and we've got nothing to brag about, but just a few little rocks here. And again, these are in a setting with pine trees. What we have here is rock steps leading up to the deck porch. Now this first rock here is actually a slab of concrete. You can see where we had poured that and it was extra that the truck dumped out, so we dated it. Even got a little handprint there, and I believe you can't see it all, but there's a dog print in here somewhere. Now I apologize, you can't see all the rocks for the debris that blew in the fall, but this is all spring cleanup. I just haven't cleaned it up yet. Now I'm going to continue this. These rocks will cover that rubber. I put the rubber down to keep the weeds from growing up through, but the rocks basically just form steps up to the deck. And I lined the side there with some rocks too, which I think is pretty cool, and some good sized little rocks. So what we have here are rocks that I am going to call inventory rocks. They're basically spare rocks that I haven't used around the place yet. Again, looks like a lot of debris has built up on them, but a lot of this rock is petrified wood. There's some, I call them plain rocks in here. I really prefer rocks that have color. Some of this stuff is man-made, like the blocks you see. This guy here is part of a foundation of a barn that used to be on the farm. And all these rocks back here are basically man-made pavers and things like that. All right, here we have a standalone rock that just kind of sits on the corner here. And as you can see by that bare spot there, this guy's been backed into 2 or 3 different times with people with trailers and rollbacks, which you can hear running in the background right now. There's a cart being delivered to the auto shop. Now this is some man-made rocks that basically extend the tile that goes underneath the road. But on top of the man-made rock is part of the old foundation from the barn. I just set it up there. That's to deter people from crushing the man-made rock there. And then on the other side, I pretty much did the same thing. I put the old foundation. You can see where they use flagstone and concrete. And again, there's the entrance to the tile that goes underneath the driveway. Now this rock is my very first rock. He was put here in 1979. He came out of the fence row on the farm. There's a couple other rocks here. And this rock here, my daughter knows I like rocks, so they were out west on vacation and brought this one back from one of the deserts out west. And again, this is all overgrown, but if you look here on the edge of this bed, not only do you the rocks that you can see, but there's rocks under the rocks supporting the rocks. So we've got the whole bed here lined with rocks. I'm gonna clean all this up this spring. This is a mess. So that's those rocks. Now here's a giant piece of flagstone, and on top of that flagstone is some petrified rock. Another rock from out west, I'll point him out, this white rock. This round rock is a glacier rock, and the rest of that's petrified wood. Now what we have here is another culvert pipe that I decorated up with some large pieces of flagstone, and the rock that sits on top was part of the original farm. It set out near the road on the corner of the driveway for since the 1800s. But that rock has been on the farm for a long time. The flagstone rocks obviously I had brought in and to protect the end of this culvert pipe. This is the other side of the culvert pipe. It has a large piece of flagstone and some man-made concrete rock there to help support it. But this is just to allow the water to flow underneath the driveway. All right, so we're coming up on a couple just standalone rocks next to the sidewalk here. And basically, it's a pretty good sized rock with a, maybe we'll call it a baby rock beside it. Now over here is another piece of that big flagstone. That's local to Ohio, those two big pieces. And this one here came from down by the, I believe it's the Scioto River. And it's really a nice looking rock. I always called it my coffee table rock. And on it I have some petrified rock. I have this stuff, it's all aged. Not sure where it came from. It was donated to Habitat and then I wound up with it. So I just put a decoration on my rock with it. Now over here, we got a couple more pieces of petrified rock. But this is a piece of, I think it's sandstone, that somebody at one point or another had done some carving on. But this is basically what's left of it. And it's just there for decoration. All right, the story behind this giant rock here. The farmer was cleaning the fence row out, taking all the trees out. And I asked him, I said, what are you gonna do with that rock? And he said, I'm gonna dig a hole and bury it. Well, I said, rather than do that, why don't you push it over on my property and I'll take good care of it. So he used a bulldozer and he pushed it up on this little hill for me. And here she sits, looking good. It's a beautiful rock. Over here are some man-made rocks that I had taken the old well on the farm. It's a hand-dug well, and made it look like an old-fashioned well. But since we're on the subject of rocks, there's another standalone rock that just kind of sits on this concrete foundation left over from the farm. And along the side of the building here are a bunch of rocks that I picked up out of the yard when I reseeded the entire yard this couple years ago. So these are, you know, they're not braggers, but they are rocks. A couple pieces of flagstone here. And over here I used some of the remains of the old farm where the tornado took the barn down years ago, and put those little stepping stone rocks right there. And here are some more rocks that I've gotten from somewhere. I've kind of lined the driveway with it. I do that so people won't just drive into the grass. Some people have no respect. Okay, now this rock here with the curve is not totally a rock. That's part of the foundation of the old barn. And there's another piece of the foundation of the old barn. There's a couple nice little rocks there. And then on the other side of the driveway, and again, this is a culvert pipe. So I'm pretty good about protecting the ends of my culvert pipes. That's more stuff from the old barn. There's some regular rocks there. And there's another piece of the foundation of the old barn there. And as you can see, that's basically just there to protect the ends of the culvert pipe. Alright, so this is the last rock I'm going to be able to show you today. And the story behind this rock was the farmer rejected it from his field, and I was able to wrap a chain around it and drag it home with my tractor. So that's the story on all my rocks. I hope you enjoyed it. I would say, you know, if you want to start mailing me rocks, but due to the weight and the size and everything, it probably would not be cost effective. But if you live in central Ohio and you have rocks that you just want to get rid of, let me know. I'd be more than happy to give them a good home. Thank you for watching my video, and have a great day.